Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Come On, Get Happy Hour. I'm feeling good. I feel a little funky today, but I feel good because I watched a good documentary and Sketch. I'm talking to Sketch, my producer up in
Hello.
Canada. Say hello to Miss Judy Sketch Lewinson.
Hello, world.
Oh, look at that.
How are we doing this week? I love the sound effects. Nice. I mean, the studio audience.
I
It's
know
very
it's
nice. Very
incredible.
nice.
I'm listening to a little Prince in the background here.
Mm.
This is one of the only songs on the radio that gets away with saying something nasty. We can,
Mm-hmm.
says we can until the
Till
dawn.
dawn. Yep. Erotic City.
They just said it.
Yeah.
Now, how'd they get past the FCC with that?
This is before you had to submit your lyric sheets.
What did he say? He said, we can hug until the dawn.
I don't know what that is.
We can until the dawn. But now you got WAP on the radio, so, you know.
Clearly. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what was good, innocent, fun, and Sketch, you ever watch one of those documentaries that just resonates with you, and like a good book, you just think about it for a couple of days?
Yep. Yep. Especially
So
the ones that are about art and creativity.
Yeah.
You just watched one?
Yeah, I just watched one, and I love this dude's vision. Talking about Mr. Barry Gordy from Hitsville, USA, Motown.
Legend.
We can fly that in, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, like I knew a lot about Motown and Smokey and, you know, Michael Jackson and Temptations, the Temps and all that. Matter of fact, I got a funny Temps story. I'm just reminding me, but I didn't know like his whole background of like, he wanted to be an artist and he was a singer songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had one minor local Detroit kind of local hit, but it didn't go anywhere. And then he said, I didn't have any money. So he went to work at the Ford Motor Plant.
Okay.
And he's working on the assembly line. He was looking around and how efficient it was. And it gave him an idea about his record company, how to make it like an assembly line.
Yeah.
So you'd have the writers here, and then, you know, musicians here, the artists here, choreography. They even had like an etiquette coach.
Yep.
But each person would go down the line like, okay, you've done your job. You pass it on down the line until you get that finished, badass, polished chrome, you know, Mustang coming out of the Ford assembly line. But it was amazing. Like you and I were just talking before we went on the air that you can't really pick one favorite Motown song.
No, you can't. Like when I think of Diana Ross, right?
The Supremes, yeah. You know, they had like six releases, but Barry didn't give up on them. Also, I think he and Diana were doing a little something freaky in the back. But
I know nothing about that.
Yeah,
I know nothing about that.
And no, it talks about that in the documentary a little bit, but he just kept saying try, and he had the best writers from Smokey Robinson to Holland Dozier Holland to what was his name, Whitfield, and they just kept trying, and finally they hit it. They hit it with the Supremes. Set me free, why don't you, babe? And come and see about me is the jam, though.
Yeah.
But they were just so poised and so sharp. But you know, I have a personal favorite. I had to pick one. If I had to, it would probably be, I know you want to leave me.
Yes.
The Temps.
Yes.
Killing it.
Yes. Everything. I mean, just the center microphone with the choreography, they step back and they spin and they come in. And
so tight.
It's really great. I remember working at one label and being signed to a different label, and they still had that assembly line process. And when you learned where it came from, it really made you want to step up your craft because you wanted to honor those who did it before you, and you wanted to achieve the same level of greatness that they did, you know. And it's, to this day, I keep saying, you know, people need to really take time with artist development. Even if you're a solo artist writing records in your room in the middle of some town, there's no label anywhere around you. Technology says you can be your own label, but still take the time to put yourself through all those paces, and that will set you apart from everyone. You know, you're seeing it on the chart. Songs are not as memorable as they were back then.
No, there's like a couple of producers, and it's all, you know, that sounds pretty much the same.
Yeah, the musicians were amazing.
Yeah, and back then you had different songwriters in the same house under the same roof. They would try to write for the artist. And some songs, surprisingly, like heard it through the grapevine, you know, of course, Gladys Knight, but it wasn't until like, you know, Marvin Gaye or something gets a hold of it and changes it up and changes the arrangement and personalizing it to their field. Now, if you even hear someone do a classic song, they're going to do it pretty much just like it was done. Like, oh, that was great. And I sing it on karaoke, so I should probably cut this record. I mean, I can do better.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it exactly
the way out there now.
The same arrangement, inflection, vocal style, everything. But it's gonna be my song.
Yeah.
I think that what comes to mind is The Greatest Showman a couple of years ago came out. And my kids loved that movie. And for some reason, Hollywood didn't like it or whatever until the soundtrack became huge. Then they reissued a soundtrack with all the latest pop stars singing the same songs.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
from Hugh
unfortunate.
Jackman and what's his name, the pretty boy that was in it.
Okay.
But it was great. But I did think of in the 90s, I was at a club here seeing Dave Wakeling of UB40, Tenderness. Not UB40. Who's the band? Come on, Sketch. Where is it, tenderness? Where is it?
Stevie, this is the portion of the evening that the audience realizes you're older than me. I don't know.
Maybe it was UB40. All right. Anyway, it's been a long day, but Dave Wakeling was doing a solo, and I was there. I was at a little club on Melrose, and I looked at the corner at the bar, and I see Ollie from the Temptations chilling at the end of the bar, and I said, "Holy sh!" I'd never seen the Temptations live.
Yeah.
So I went to the bar to get a drink. I'm like, "Hey, Ollie, what's up? You're Ollie." He's like, "Yeah, I know." You sure I know who I am? But thanks. I go, "Man, big fan." So I was a couple of vodka cranberries into the night.
Yeah.
So I went to Dave Wakeling in between songs. I whispered, "Ollie from the Temptations is at the bar and he wants to do a song." And he's like, "Are you sure, mate?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, he's right there." And he just told me he wants to do a song. He's like, "Holy shit. All right." He's like, "This is amazing, mate."
Yeah.
He goes, "Everybody, we have a special guest tonight." He goes, "Ollie from the Temptations, please." And Ollie's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah. It's just like,
And so everybody's clapping.
Right.
And I don't think they had to twist his arm too hard because he came up and I'm in front of the stage and I'm so excited. And he goes to Dave Wakeling and he whispers something. The band all turns around. He's whispering. And then the bass player goes, "Do-do, dum, dum, dum." Ollie turns around and says, "It was the 3rd of September."
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes.
You're welcome, crowd. You're welcome.
Yeah. So you've been producing from way back.
I mean, that's amazing. I put him on the spot. And being a performer, he couldn't turn it down. Dave Wakeling was obviously a fan. So it was just an amazing night to be that close.
Right. And everyone that's there got this unique experience that you could not capture on phones.
You should have bought me drinks.
You just had to be there. Wow.
But no, you can't beat also on the I feel like, I swear we're not sponsored by them, but we should be, because killer documentary, Hitsville, the making of Motown. And they show little Michael Jackson's audition when he was doing the James Brown. Have you seen that footage?
Yes. I actually was on a Zoom earlier today talking about the history of dance and how there's this moment when James Brown brought up Michael onto a stage, almost like passing the baton as if now you're going to be known as the next guy. That clip was pretty powerful.
Was it James that did it once and Prince was also in the audience?
Brought
them both up?
Yeah. And he's just like, and they had the little dance off thing, and it was
and Prince was like, "No, I don't want to."
Yeah, it's all good.
That was crazy. You know the story about Michael Jackson and Prince had a meeting, and Michael wanted to do a duet with Prince. Do you know this story?
I don't know it like details. No.
I got a lot of useless trivia up here. Sketch.
It's great.
So the story goes that Michael and Prince had a meeting, and Michael's like, "I've got this song, Prince, and I think it'd be great for both of us." And he played it, and it was bad. And it kicks off with "Your body's mine." And then
right.
Prince, it was on a cassette, and supposedly Prince stopped the cassette and goes, "Dish, man, look, I'm not singing any song about your butt is mine.
Right.
And you're definitely not singing a song about my butt is yours." And he got his little stilettos and marched right out.
Is that why they don't get out?
That was it. He didn't go. Oh, wow. I would have done it. Michael, your butt is mine.
It'd be challenging to see that as a duet, though.
I don't have a problem with that.
It'd be an aggressive duet.
All right. So
do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite before we get into? Do you have a favorite like Motown song, like that's an obscure one, not like a well-known one?
Ball of Confusion. You know that one?
Yeah, I like that
Temps?
one. Yeah. My favorite. Yeah.
Dum, 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 dum.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
when they were getting a little bit psychedelic, and
yeah,
Marvin's like, hey man, there's a lot of
yeah.
shit going on in the world. I want to
Let's
sing,
start
what's going
talking.
on. And
Yeah, yeah.
Harry's like, no, let's keep it pop. Let's keep it pop.
That's when the label started changing. So many
Yeah.
changes over there. I like Diana Ross's 99.5.
Yeah.
And I like I've always loved Ben from Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That was
About a rat.
and of
Okay.
course anything Stevie Wonder does, but it's
Stevie Wonder.
Motown. We love them. We're not sponsored by them, but if we were, that'd be lovely.
That'd be good. I met Stevie
Who
once.
is oh yeah, so did I.
Did you?
Yeah, he
Amazing.
produced an award show and he was being honored, and then he did like an impromptu mini concert. And
That's so cool.
similar
He's
to the
known-
story you said, I was, third row, and I'm just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to a benefit for the junior blind,
Mhm.
and he just jumps up and plays the piano, and it was amazing because there was a lot of special needs kids there.
Mhm.
See the way his music moved people.
Yeah.
Kids
Yeah.
that couldn't even vocalize the way he made them feel.
Yeah.
But they were just so happy. Like
So into it, yeah.
I got chills.
It's a unifying music it's a unifying language, you know.
It is.
It's a beautiful thing.
It really is. But also you can't, like, going back to Michael, and they talk about what a genius this little kid, like they're like,
Yeah.
Tito, Jermaine, and the rest of whatever your names are, have a nice day. They're like, no, we're a package deal.
Yeah.
But Michael doing his little baby,
Yeah.
impression.
That's great.
And nobody to this day can top Who's Loving You.
Oh,
Vogue
no.
tried it. But
And Vogue
Michael,
was good, but it was not. It was different. I like that
Yeah.
they changed it up because that's what you have to do. There's certain things you just have to remember that this is the original. Do
yeah,
it your own way and make it your own, though. That
you
they
got
did
an
that.
11-year-old kid singing his heart out with soul just coming from his heart. You can't fake that. It's a little pimp fedora,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm excited about tonight's show.
Loving you. Me too. I got two of my buddies on tonight.
Yeah, who's coming up?
The first one has some really good stories. They both do. I got a new iPad. It's real fancy. I can't quite figure it out, but I think there's some pictures on here of the guests. Oh yeah, I got them. So is the first guest lined up? All right. So we're in the spirit tonight.
Yes, we are.
And
Motown.
Motown spirit. All right, we're throwing down for Motown tonight. Detroit's the rock city, and it's also the Motown, the Hitsville, USA city. My first guest, y'all, I did a couple of shows with him, and one of the very last show I did before the lockdown, he was supposed to be on. He called me. His heart was broken. He was afraid to fly out because they were shutting down. This is Friday. They shut down completely on a Sunday. They were saying you may be quarantined. He was afraid he would get stuck out here. He gave me a call. I love this dude. He's got some good stories of acting with Tupac and Selma Hayek and been on Jimmy Kimmel show, and very funny young man, a buddy of mine. Give it up for Mario Bosco. My buddy, what's going on, Mario? Thank you. Welcome to the Double Wide Trailer. You see I cleaned up for you?
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, my man. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you again.
Thank you very much. I had so much fun working with you a year ago. COVID just screwed everything up, but it was me, you, and Marino. We rocked the stage, and I actually worked with Mike Marino recently.
How's my man doing?
He's good. He's good. We worked together at the Stress Factory a little over a month ago, and then last 2 weekends ago, I worked with him at Governor's Comedy Club because they're doing Zoom live from the actual stage. So you're not in your underwears and in your living room screaming, "Shut the fucking TV!"
So you're Zooming, so there's no live audience?
It's all Zoom, but it's such big equipment. Like they have screens that 10 times like the size of a wall. They have projectors, like bunch of 3 or 4 projectors projected onto the screens, and then they have wires hanging everywhere. So it's a real big production that they're doing. Actually,
can you see the faces on Zoom that are watching you?
I could. The only thing that gets me is that the first time I did it, I'm getting more warmed up. The first time I did it, I wasn't happy because I came on stage and some guy goes, "Hey, check out that little broad over there." And I kind of stopped, and the owner goes, "No, just go, do your set. Don't worry about him."
Yeah, yeah.
And it bothered me. The second time I
They're
did it,
talking about you?
yes.
You said, don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
He said, "Check out that broad." That's what he said.
That's all right. I grew up with 3 sisters and a single mom. People always thought I was a girl, and I go, thank you. I am pretty.
Thank you. Like the hit night?
Yeah.
No.
Do I
But really good, and I've gotten a hand of it, and I actually got the host, the owner, James, called me up. He goes, "Listen," he goes, "I'm bringing your buddy in." I go, "Who's my buddy?" Because he knows, like, I love a lot of comics that I've grown from them, you know. He goes, "Marino." I go, "Oh, so cool." So he goes, "You're gonna host," and I go, "Okay." So I said to the owner, I go, "Can we turn on the microphone so that we could hear them laugh?"
Yeah.
And if
nice.
and if they get stupid, we'll just click them off right away. Just time. And they're really nice. They held their own. You know, I was impressed.
So you could actually hear the Zoom people laughing?
You could. It sounds more robotic because remember, it's one stream.
Yeah.
Remember, it's stream, and they're all on that same stream. So it's like as if a million different people are laughing, but computerized laughing. Because what it is that, you know, if you laugh and he laughs and there's a little bit of static, it sounds robotic.
Gotcha. So it's funny, I was watching something with my buddy Jamie Kennedy yesterday, and I showed my son, and he goes, "Oh, that's a fake laugh track." And I said, well, no, it wasn't really, because Jamie used to do a show, the Jamie Kennedy Experience, where he'd be in front of a studio audience, but then he on the screen he would show his bit. So in the video, my son was watching the bit, and it was just a small clip of the bit from the screen, and he didn't know Jamie was introducing it from the stage and from a live audience. So he thought it was this. So could you tell a difference in this, the energy of a fake canned laugh than the Zoom laugh, even though it sounded robotic? Did it sound organic?
It sounded organic, but it was, I think, too many at once. Yeah. Because the way Zoom is meant that
I get that a lot too, Mario. Too many people laughing at the same time. Right.
So how it works is that if you talk, or I'm talking right now, my square lights up.
Yep,
if you talk, your square lights up. So if everybody's laughing, all these squares are lighting up. So it's the way it's controlled by the company, actually, because the squares light up, and that means every time they're lighting up, somebody's laughing. So it picks up right away. Oh, boom, 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 like it's like, you know, very staticky. So that's why.
That's one thing that Zoom has taught me, because I'd never done it before the COVID thing, is to zip it and let the guests talk sometimes, because like you said, you cross over each other if you're both trying to talk. So I'll try to jump in without stepping on your line, your story.
Step on me, I just stepped on you.
But you just worked with this guy right here. He looks familiar, Mr. Adam Carolla.
Yes, Adam, an amazing human being. I got to meet Adam. Jimmy Kimmel used to do this Italian festival in Hollywood called the San Gennaro Festival. Yep. San Gennaro was popular and big in New York City. Mm-hmm. And Jimmy wanted it to be started in his backyard. From his backyard, it moved to the street behind the show, and he would get comedians and actors, and that's how I met Mike Marino, because I remembered him from that. I remember speaking to somebody, I reached out, and we became friends, closer than when we were before.
Yeah.
So I had met Adam there a bunch of times, because what they do is they do this one night called Prima Notte. Prima Notte is the prime night. Okay. It's the Thursday before the festival opens to the public. They sell the tickets. The money goes to a children's hospital. Cool. And all celebrities that that been on the show, friends of Jimmy's, this and that. But it got so big that on a Thursday night, he would have 100,000 people there. You know, there was a lot. It would be a lot of people. So Jimmy pulled away. Once Jimmy started hosting the Emmys and the Oscars, and his show was getting huger, he just pulled back. But Adam was one of the people that would come on Prima Notte, him and his wife and his 2 little children, and we'd come and I'd hang out, and then I knew him from the Man Show. So I knew he was going to be playing in Florida. So I reached out to Jimmy Kimmel's cousin, Sal. I said, Sal, I need a favor, because last year in January, no, 2 Januaries ago, no, it was last year, 2020's January, I was in Florida. I was in LA, and I got to go to Adam Carolla's football party in his garage.
Nice.
And it was big garage, all his fancy cars, big screens, all food and stuff. So we were talking then, and then I kept seeing him at the Improv in LA. So finally, I got to work with him.
He's a cool dude. I've met Adam a few times. I told him I plagiarized him in my book, because he tells a story in his book about every guy has like a fight story. So I told his story in my book, and I said, Adam, I plagiarized you, but I did mention Adam, and I gave him a copy. And when I was on Dr. Drew's podcast, and he was cool with it. He laughed, but I'm a car guy, and he loves cars, and his cars are way more expensive than mine, but still.
His cars are phenomenal.
He likes Paul Newman's car. He buys all Paul Newman's all race cars. I wish I could buy the Burt Reynolds Bandit and those kind of, white trash cars, but we still love cars. And you've done a lot of acting stuff also. Before I have to let you get out of here, we have about 5 minutes, but I didn't know, I forgot about the movie Bullet with Mickey Rourke and Tupac. Do you have any stories from that set? Was there any like Tupac? I can't see those two not having some friction.
Well, Mickey Rourke and Tupac?
Yeah.
No, they
cool?
were great. Very cool. I got to meet Tupac. I had shot my scene with Ted Levine from Silence of the Lambs downtown in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I wanted to meet Mickey Rourke because I was a huge pulp of the Greenwich Village.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorites. So because I wanted to meet him, I went to the set, and the director recognized me. Well, the crew recognized me, and then the director, and he called me up, and I told him I wanted to meet Mickey, and he took me in his trailer, and they were actually painting a Jewish tattoo on his arm for a fight scene that he was doing in the schoolyard, at Lafayette Schoolyard in Brooklyn. So okay. I got to hang out, and I got to meet Tupac he was with his boys, his posse, his friends, whatever.
Yeah.
Got to meet with him, and it was really nice. It was really a great experience.
Nice. All right, that's cool. What about Studio 54? Selma Hayek hit me with that story when she wouldn't leave you alone. She kept calling you afterwards.
Selma Hayek was phenomenal. I got to work with Selma on Studio 54, and like I wasn't really big on knowing, if I don't really know you, like John Travolta, Burt Reynolds, Jackie Gleason, Lucille Ball, if I don't really know you, I'm not going to really go after movies that I really don't know too much about or who they're in, unless it's like something that catches my eye, whether it's about stand-up comedy or whether it's about something that has some, catching on my eye. I know a lot about, let's say, old-time movies because I'm a big fan of, like, musicals from the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. So I would know who all these people are. Gene Kelly, who a lot of these people today have no clue. Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, Donald O'Connor.
Love those guys.
When I met Selma, we were doing the movie. I was cast as an extra. And they promised me that I was going to get a bump up. I said, okay. So the director kept asking, do you know who knows how to do the split? And everybody was throwing their hands up, and I didn't have my hands up. And he goes, no, I need people who don't know who to do the split, who don't know. So I put my hand up. I go, I don't know how to do the split. He goes, okay. He goes, do you know how to do the bus dance that we do, the bus stop? And I go, no. The bus stop. I go, no, I don't know how to do that dance either. He goes, okay. So the casting director dragged him on the side and said, listen, he's a really good actor. He worked with him a lot. Throw him a couple of lines. So the director threw me a line, and you could have felt the jealousy or the wow, you got a line. The director gave him a line. Like you could have cut it with a knife. That's how big of a slice it was that you could have felt the air in the room, like.
Yes.
So
I get that break. Yeah.
So I turned around and I did the scene and I worked it out and I said we were talking in between and then she goes, oh, I said, have I seen you in anything? She goes, I did a movie called Fool's Love, Love's Fool's Rush In or some Fool's Rush In. And I go, what did you play? She goes, I was the lead. Now I felt like an idiot. I go, oh, I'm sorry. She goes, don't you know I'm Selma Hayek and I've done a lot of movies? Like I really didn't get to know who she really was until she started doing Men in Black and then she did a Western one. She did a Western movie or something she was doing. So I didn't know until she was doing all kinds of different movies that I realized who she was. But the body on her, smoking.
Body on. How would the Italians say it?
Oh.
Is that what you posted? You posted something, I'm trying to remember one day where you went on like a dance audition. It was a clip from a commercial or a movie or something. It was so cool.
That was it, Studio 54 that I was dancing in.
That was it? I'm all about the disco. I love me some disco. Another documentary I highly recommend is the one on the Bee Gees. So great.
I love the Bee Gees. You know, where I come from, one of the most famous movies is Saturday Night Fever, because the pizzeria where John Travolta goes and says, I'll take two. Just two. How many, Tony? Two. Just two. So that pizzeria is where they came back after 40 years they came back for the 40th anniversary. Travolta, his wife, rest in peace, and their family. And I got to be there. And the pizzeria I go to all the time, Lemon's Pizza here in Brooklyn. And it's funny that Travolta in the same area of the time in the 70s, he was doing Welcome Back, Kotter. And the school of the Sweat Hogs, New Utrecht High School, is also not far from that. It's like maybe 3 to 4 minutes away from that pizzeria.
Welcome back. Your dreams are your ticket out. I love that. Was my favorite when I was a kid. Funny story. My parents were divorced, and I asked my mom because I love music and I love to dance, and I said, "Please take me to see Saturday Night Fever." And she's like, "I'm not taking you to that. That's not appropriate." And my dad came into town, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I go, "There's a movie out. I got to see it, Dad." And he was like, "All right." I was like 10 years old or something. So he took me to Saturday Night Fever. Highly inappropriate. I've got a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old now. No way in hell I'd let them see it. But my dad took me. Guess who was there? My mom and her girlfriends were sitting down front. And she goes up for some popcorn. I'm like, uh-oh. Like, what the hell are you doing here? And so, but she let me stay. She was cool. But that's where I got my pep in my step.
Want to know something? I think that some certain movies are meant to be seen for a reason, to give that person something to talk about when they get older. See how you have something to talk about.
I still have a copy I bought not too long ago at a vintage store in plastic, like pristine. And I was a DJ for 10 years, Mario. So I would play copies of Saturday Night Fever all the time, or I'd have a 12-inch remix of, Stand Alive or Night Fever or Boogie Shoes. I know the whole soundtrack, but what's the Bee Gees documentary? I think it's on HBO Max or Plus or whatever the hell it's called. But amazing.
I love the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees are the best. Bee Gees, Chicago, the Eagles. This is what I grew up with. And one of my favorite. And the night that we did the show with Mike, I don't know if you remember that one of the guys that was there was a drummer for Mike, was a drummer for Frankie Valli. Do you remember
that's my neighbor. That's my buddy Craig. He's 2 doors down.
Well, your buddy Craig got me a birthday ticket for my birthday. Nice. He called it in, got me a ticket for my birthday, and I got, not only did I get to see every song that Frankie Valli sang on the stage, I got to get a picture with him at the end.
Wow. I'll tell him. He's 2 doors down. So I'll tell him we'll give him a shout out on the show tonight.
They don't call me a star fucker for nothing.
There you go, buddy. Step your way to the top. All right, Mario, I want to have you back on because I got more stories. I want to hear from you. What are you promoting? You had a book called Hopeless to Hollywood. Got any gigs coming up?
Yes, I have some gigs coming up in Florida. It should be with Mike Marino back at Off the Hook Comedy Club in Naples, Florida. That's got in the works. You could check out my YouTube page. It's Mario Bosco Comedy. MarioBoscoComedy.com is actually my website. Mario Bosco is my YouTube page. Instagram, Mario Bosco too. You follow me, I follow you.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. All right,
This is
buddy.
how
Thank
we
you so
do it.
much. That's how we do it. You know, there's nothing you
It's
can
always
do
a
about
pleasure.
it, as Mike would
There's
say.
nothing you could do about it. It happened. It's over, and there's nothing you could do about it.
All
You know,
right.
it's funny that where I come from, the one thing I hate when people say in Brooklyn is the word "forget about it." Forget about it. Hey, forget about it. I'm like, listen, the Sopranos are over. We have 90% Chinese in our neighborhood. You don't want to hear forget it. There ain't no, walking down the block with the can of paint and the 2 slices of pizza singing night fever, night
You
fever.
can tell by the way I use my walk.
No.
All right, Mario, I love you,
Use
buddy.
my walk. Well, it's a pleasure to be on, and I can't wait to do this again. And say hello to your next door neighbor. Thank you for the Frankie Valley ticket.
I'll tell Craig, Pilo, you said that, and can't wait to do another show with you, buddy.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, kiddo.
Okay, my man. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. We're ready to party over here and everything. I was just telling my next guest that I don't wear glasses, but my son had some here, so I'm going to try them out. I think I need glasses, though, because they're starting to make font smaller. I don't know if you noticed when you hit a certain age and you're at a restaurant and they're making the font way smaller now. So you got to, I'm sure it's not me. It's definitely the printer or something. I don't know. But anyway, this next guest is a buddy of mine from many, many years ago. He hasn't aged at all. Just playing some funky music in the background. He hasn't aged at all, and can't wait to catch up with him. And through the magic of Zoomavision, I guess we're going to do that. You've seen him on The Tonight Show, Late Show, and he's a writer for Funny You Should Ask, and a good buddy of mine. Give it up for Claude Stewart.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
Thank you, Stevie. Good to see you, brother.
There you go. Your applause just ended. It's crazy how the applause in the studio audience just cuts off abruptly like that.
Oh, I know. Until you ovation. Oh, crickets. Hello. Nice to see you.
You too, brother. What's going on? Where are you? San Diego?
Yes, I was going to say, I hope you like my virtual background. It's called My Mother-in-Law's Spare Room.
It's called the laundry room.
I mean, look, honestly, I've been here about 11 months, Stevie, with my mother-in-law and family. And honestly, I tease my relatives, but seriously, during this difficult time, it's been a joy and a pleasure and a blessing to be trapped with these people. I can't imagine what I would do.
He's blinking Morse code.
Everybody's like, you got to get a vaccine. Not me. I'm praying for COVID.
I need at least 15 days to rest.
Go ahead, Nana. Cough in my mouth. Wrap it up.
If you know anybody who knows COVID, tell them to stop by the house. Good to see you, brother.
Oh man, you too. It's been awesome. I love the kegs in the background, dude.
You like this? This is the double wide trailer. Got the king over here and everything. Got some empty kegs. What's that, beanbag? I'm illegally parked in front of the Hollywood sign. See that?
Yes. Oh my God.
Kentucky over here. Representing, brother. That's what we do. That's how we do.
You're talking about illegally parking. I'm getting a flashback of all those parking enforcement officers. Like you know me. I'm a good guy, okay? I don't wish
He's a nice guy.
But I don't wish harm. But I will say this. If anybody was just randomly beating the shit out of a parking enforcement officer and they were going, hey, stop it. I just hope the shit beater out of would go, sorry, I've already started.
Can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I used to live over by Robertson and between 3rd Street over that area. And at 4 o'clock every day, you had to move your car from 4 to 6, I think it was.
They would tow it, right?
The tow trucks would be lined up. And I remember coming out at 3:58 and they're going, hey, don't move your car. Don't move. I'm like, so at 3:59, I'd start inching and they're trying to get me. And I'm like, fuck you.
Not fair.
Yeah, they would get you, man. They would get you big time over there. I got I had 3 pieces of shit cars. I could have traded them all in for one decent car, but I'd have to move one car. And I was moving the car one day and I got pulled over and I'm like, I only had insurance on one car and it wasn't the one I was driving.
Of course.
And I was telling the cop, I got insurance, but just not in this car. And they,
right.
yep, the other car, let me trade cars. Then you pull me over.
I promise. I got the paperwork. I got to.
So I ended up had to go to court, and in Beverly Hills, whatever you're there for, it's the maximum penalty. So if you turn over a ticket and it says your fine will be between $250 or $2,000,
yeah,
you're paying $2,000.
Ah,
So I think I sold one of the cars to pay for that ticket. Still mad about that. That was a goddamn classic.
it's like you can even be an Amish guy and you'd still get some form of ticket. You
Yeah.
know? All right,
Move
that'll
your
cost
horse
you.
and buggy.
It cost me a lantern. That's 4 candles.
Good to see you, brother. So you were writing for a Byron Allen show before the COVID went down?
Yes. I was even when March Madness hit, if you will, we were still rocking and rolling. Probably into June, and they took a hiatus, and that pretty much means whenever Byron feels like calling everybody. I don't know. He's got a lot of projects going on. So, but yeah, man. Ever since I've just been pretty much doing Zoom comedy. I right after I wrote for the NBC comedy benefit Feeding America.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, a bunch of people.
None of those names ring a bell, but okay, keep going.
Sorry, do they have puppets? I don't know. But
It's gonna start somewhere. Okay.
Good luck, kids. But no, the great thing about it is we ended up feeding 16 million
Wow.
hungry Americans, which is cool. It felt a lot better than just telling my normal dick jokes to drunks.
Was that a pay-per-view thing or?
No, it was on NBC. It was like especially just like one night, one Sunday, and then we just raised as much money as we could. So.
And did you write for Chris and Eddie and all those guys? Did you write for the?
Yeah, they just basically said, okay, here's what we're looking to do. Give me 5 jokes about everybody, and just submit it. And Eddie's actually he mostly kind of had people he was working with. They were looking for like kind of setups to his bits, like more introduction. But yeah, everybody else. I mean, I had some stuff for Chris, and then for Whitney Cummings and some different people. It was cool, man. It was fun.
That's all. Judy and I have a funny Chris Rock story. When he was hosting the Oscars back whenever that hell that was.
Like 04, 05? I remember that. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. And I was hosting Thursday nights at the Laugh Factory. And I get a call like, hey, Chris Rock's coming in tonight with 60 Minutes, but you can't tell anybody. I said, because he's doing the Oscar jokes. He's doing his monologue, top secret. And this is going to air, I think it was after the Oscars it must have been right after the Oscars, 60 Minutes, Chris Rock, like Oprah would do the after Oscar special. Sure. You can't tell anybody, top secret jokes. So of course, as soon as I hung up the phone, I e-blasted my mailing list, fucking Chris Rock.
Oh, no way.
Of course. And so 60 Minutes gets there and sketch with Judy was there, and she was my DJ upstairs on Thursday nights. And there's a line like a mile down Sunset, and they come in, they go, what the fuck? What's going on? Who said Chris was going to be here? I'm like, what are you talking about?
I didn't say
You're
shit.
never see me. I mean, Chris, I forgot he was even stopping in. So
Dude, that is awesome.
They set up the cameras, and I go up to Chris and I go, Chris, what do you want for your introduction? And he's like, I don't care, man. Just, bring me up. So I'm thinking, I'm going to be on 60 Minutes. And if I bring you up, that's less time I'm going to be on 60 Minutes. So he had like a 3-minute introduction, the voice of our generation, blah, 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 shaking his hand. I wouldn't let go of his hand.
The Messiah.
He's here. Get off me.
Dude, that is awesome. I have to tell you this, because when I met you, we were hanging out at the store a lot, you know. And I was a doorman there. And once you're there in Hollywood, you know how it is. You don't get too starstruck because you see so many celebrities.
Somebody's going to roll through.
Dude, Chris was definitely one of the ones because Bring the Pain, 96, that's one of the best ever, in my humble opinion. But I remember he was waiting on stage to get up, but for whatever reason, a lot of celebrities were going up that night. And he's like, yeah, man, I don't think I'm going to go up tonight. And I was like, oh, no, you might want to hang out. And I ended up quoting one of his jokes to him. I felt like such an idiot. He goes, oh yeah, what do you think I say? Yeah. I go, because you never know.
Did you do your hands like that?
What in the fuck? So fortunately, he started laughing. He looked at me like, I ain't crazy ass white boy. I was like, thank God.
I was just talking at the top of the show. I don't know if you caught that, but I was talking about the Berry Gordy documentary of Motown. Hitsville making Motown, and they were talking about how the artists all borrow from each other. You know, you see something, you're like, oh, I like that move, or I like that little inflection. And I know comics do that, and I definitely probably have stolen from Chris the way he would prowl the stage. And I know you're physical, you have a lot of energy, so do I.
No, he's like he's a caged tiger, man. You know,
yeah, he just prowls back and forth. And I was never good at standing still. I know you've got a lot of energy too. Right. So, and I've had people say, see, if you go up like you're at Madison Square Garden and there's 12 people in the audience. I'm like, they came to see a show.
I know. Dude, I'm the same way. I'm like, there could be 2 or 2 million people, same show, same exact show.
And I'm jealous sometimes of people. Like I remember bringing Damon Wayans up on the stage once at the Laugh Factory. And bro, he had on like a beanie and then another cap. I'm like, shit, how famous? You got to be pretty famous to wear like 5 different hats and just talk about going to the dentist. And I swear he didn't have any notes. I don't know if he came straight. I'm like, but I still like to be a little some adrenaline pumping a little bit.
Yeah, I remember I had an acting coach one time that told me, he goes, you should feel the same way about, you know, auditioning as you do stand up. You should have a little bit of a feeling in your chest like you're about to jump out of a plane. You know, like, I don't know how it's going to go, but let's have some fun. Let's do it.
Yeah. It's going to be fun falling. You feel like you're flying. Mario was just talking about that, how you should always be ready. And I heard he just worked with Adam Carolla. And I remember it stuck in my head once that Adam said that he would get annoyed when he'd have a guest on his show that didn't come to bring it. They'd be like, just working on some shit, you know? And Harrison Ford comes to mind, where he's like a reluctant, you know, he's an actor, which I respect his work, but he would go on the Tonight Show and be like, little project called Star Wars.
Like no energy, no enthusiasm.
I'd rather be on my ranch in Montana, but whatever.
I know.
Gotta sell this shit, you know?
Worst interview ever.
We sell it, brother. We sell it. You have a 7-year-old boy now, right?
I do. Yeah. Oh my God.
Has he always been 7, or he's just 7 this year?
It was kind of weird. Came out of the womb 7.
Came out 7.
No, he's a dude. Stevie. He's got my energy, and my parents are like, revenge.
Yeah.
They love. I mean, he is like a coked up ferret. It's amazing. But I'll tell you this though, man. I've got him into music because, you know, I'm like you, like, you know, we love music, right? And I really got him into classic rock. Recently, I got him into Queen. Which is cool, but it backfired on me, man. About 2.5 weeks ago, I'm trying to get into bed. He's bouncing off the walls. I was like, all right, buddy, that's enough. Get your toy. We're going to bed. My son looks at me really seriously and goes, don't stop me now. I was like, dude, I couldn't even get mad. I was like, up top, little man.
All right.
You know,
One encore. You get to play for another 30 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, go ahead. Good. I mean, listen, let's be honest. That's cute that he did that just because he's home alone with me. Like nobody gets hurt. But honestly, I'm a little worried that, you know, we're going to be in public one day and he's going to start singing Queen at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we're with grandma. I don't want to be at grandma's funeral. And he's going, another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
Oops.
I think I was getting a haircut once and my daughter was like 4 and I gave her my phone and she looks over and she starts playing Bohemian Rhapsody, like the video.
Yeah.
Starts singing it. Mama, whoa, whoa, whoa. And everyone stopped cutting hair and they're like, all right, good parenting there, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. They do karaoke during the barbershop, man. Well, here's what's crazy too, and you know this, Stevie, that like you got to be careful what you say in front of your kids because it will come back, right?
Yeah, they're like parrots, they're little parrots.
Yes. Oh my God. Here's the thing, dude. Okay, we're going on a dog walk in the neighborhood in San Diego, right? And the neighbor walks up to me. He's like, so you're still living at your mother-in-law's, huh? I go, yeah, but it's only temporary. And my son pipes up, but Daddy, you just said we were living in hell.
And hell is eternal, remember?
Have I told you what I'm dealing with, by the way, Stevie? Do you know?
You have like a parrot or something going on, or?
Oh my God! Literally every meal. This is
what your mother-in-law may see this, by the way. Probably not.
Love you, Zoe.
I've learned the hard way. Watch your mouth.
Oh shit, that's true. She's literally 12 steps away.
All right.
You'll see why I said 12. Hang on.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I am literally living with my almost 7-year-old hyperactive temperamental son, my micromanaging judgmental wife,
All right.
her vodka drinking, chain smoking, phlegm coughing mother,
All right. I like it.
2 perpetually ravenous dogs,
All right.
and a nonstop squawking fucking parrot. Okay? Every meal I'm dealing with this. I'm trying to be cool, eating the food, but the 2 dogs are yipping and yapping. They're trying to get my food. They're jumping above the table so high, they're practically levitating. But we
George Jetson.
oh, totally, they're floating. But we can't feed them before we eat because that's the rule.
Yeah.
So
Let them beg and then slobber all over your hand, your leg, and
dude, yes,
that's more appropriate. Way more, yeah, it makes much more sense.
It's ridiculous. We can't feed him till my son finishes his meal, which takes forever because my boy has 1 bite of his mac and cheese and he wants to have a half-hour debate over who would win a race between Usain Bolt or the Flash.
Yeah, that's a good debate.
Legit argument every night, right?
I'm going with Usain.
It's every night this happens, dude. He runs over to feed him, and I try to stop it. I try to prevent it, but my phone like breaks my scapula. I'm sorry, my scapula breaks on this rotary phone. My mother-in-law.
I trained you in the gym once, Claude, by the way, and you should know your body parts. Okay, continue.
No, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm like 5'11", 126. I'm built like a female supermodel. Here's the thing.
I gotta get you back in the gym, buddy.
Dude, most women want my body, just not the same way I want theirs. Here's the point. Go ahead and hate us. So here's the so I break my scapula.
I was late on the applause, sorry.
Got there. That's all that matters, baby. So I run over to stop him from melting down because he steps in the water bowl of the dogs because my insane mother-in-law booby traps the kitchen like a prisoner of war. Okay. Yeah. He's got a wet sock. He's freaking out. I'm trying to calm him down. My wife starts micromanaging me because, what do I know about being a parent, right? It didn't shoot out of my vagina.
Yeah.
So she's freaking out on me. Dude, meanwhile, the parrot starts mocking my wife. So now I'm getting nagged in stereo. Okay? It's like, literally, back off, honey. Give him space. Back off, honey. Give him space. Fuck. Meanwhile, my mother-in-law is drinking like Nicolas Cage from Leaving Las Vegas.
That's happy hour for her.
Dude, totally.
I don't know her, so I can say that.
She's clearing her throat, coughing up a lung like Doc Holliday in Tombstone. And by the way,
taking a drag.
Dude, that is 2 90s references in one joke. Suck it, Generation Z. Come on now. Thank you, Joe Dirt. Listen. So I'll say it again, Stevie, I love them, but after 11 months of living with these people, I'm praying for COVID.
I'll come and pick you up in the Trans Am, buddy.
Dude, I'll be there.
We'll go hit the gym. Beverly Hills Health and Fitness, I think it was.
Yes, that was awesome, man. That was killer.
Remember that place? That place was dangerous. Like, I'm sure it was not up to any sort of health code or building code. There'd be a waterfall upstairs. You're going up the concrete steps.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was like, yes. And then every once in a while, you would see some blood on the steps. CSI wouldn't touch that floor.
Bruce Springsteen would come in and Chili Peppers. And there was a spot upstairs. There was a hole. They had these rubber mats on the floor. And there was one spot that apparently the wood was rotten. So you knew not to be walking with heavy weights because you would go down.
Oh, hey, dude, I got the Axl shirt on. So you almost did. You did.
I know my hair is like this quarantine. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if you know, but I took a break from comedy for a few years and was trying to be a dad and all that jazz. And then I started back and my kids love this joke. And people say, oh, Steve, you had cancer a little bit. And are you doing comedy? You began to inspire people because laughter is the best medicine. And I go, I don't give a shit about that. I'm doing comedy because my kids are starting to ignore me. I need a lot of attention.
Dude, I totally feel you on that. I don't know if you've done this, man, but my wife and I, we work hard at the marriage, and we have actually done therapy. We've done like Zoom therapy since
wow.
Since it started. But the therapist is awesome. She's really honest. She told me, she goes, Claude, in a nutshell, your problem is you tend to overreact too much.
Yeah.
And I was like, Well, what the fuck does that mean?
This is on me.
But you know what? Liz Stevie, she pulls no punches. She was honest with Heather, my wife too. She goes, Heather, in a nutshell, your issue is you tend to blame your husband too much. And my wife was like, yeah, and whose fault is that? So we got some work to do, buddy. We got a little work.
I'm on your side, Claude.
We're making
I love you, buddy. The drinking word tonight is spirit. I don't know what you're having there, but it sounds like you need one.
Oh, I'm a Maker's Mark guy. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
you makers?
All bourbon, dog.
I'm a vodka and whatever's in the refrigerator guy.
That's awesome.
Now stay healthy, my man. And I hope we get back into some comedy soon. I haven't seen you in a long time. So a blessing of all this is like the Zoom. I'd never done this techie shit before that.
Yeah.
So it's been cool to reconnect. I'm lazy. Don't have to leave the house.
I love it, man. No, thank you. And Stevie, I got to tell you, honestly, no bullshit aside. I've known you for years. I've always loved your optimistic attitude.
Thank you, buddy.
Seriously, your positivity is contagious, and the comedy world needs more of that. So thank you for being.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. And I tell people, just turn off the news. Listen to some comedy, podcast, whatever it is, and focus on the positivity in the world. It's a lot of good shit, a lot of good, funny people like you. And this is giving you more material, man. So this goes on another year. You're going to have 5 one-hour specials out of this.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Right now, I can hear my mother-in-law arguing with Alexa.
I see the smoke from the Marlboro coming from under the door back there.
Trust me, Alexa's winning this one, too.
All right, Claude Stewart. Love you, buddy.
Love you, man. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, brother. All right, y'all. I hope that got you in some good spirits. I forgot to ask Claude where we can find him, but Judy, you'll throw something up there, and I think you can find him in his mother-in-law's laundry room.
That's what it looked like.
7 nights a week.
Last 11 months, sir. So
that was a fun show.
Very fun show. Let's do another one next week.
We're always going to bring the funny every single week, y'all. Come on, get happy. Airs every Wednesday night around, 6?
6 o'clock on YouTube. You can go to my channel. It's YouTube, IAmJudiLew. That's Judy with an I. Or you can go over to Facebook to Stevie D's friends.
Stevie D and his so-called friends. So-called friends.
Yeah, that's
I call them friends. They may not claim me. I can blackmail any of them, so that's why my so-called friends. But we post the show there as well. Y'all let us know any topics you want us to talk about on the show, and any guests. If we can get to them, we'll definitely try to pull them in.
Send questions for guests. That's always fun.
Questions for guests, yeah. So check out that. I swear we didn't get any endorsement, any kind of lucrative deal, but check out Hitsville, the making of Motown.
Yeah,
really good. Each week, so jump on Judy's social media or mine, Stevie D Rocks on Instagram or Facebook, and let us know what you'd like to see. I usually put the topics on there at least 24 hours in advance, so please chime in so we can give you a shout out. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for rocking the double wide, and thank you, Judy Sketch Lewinson. See you next week, y'all.
Everybody. Bye.
You're in the mix with JudiLew. You're in the mix with JudiLew.
Hey, DJ, bring that back.